Hello, Invincible Tankers! A fresh episode of Tank Online Vlog is on the air. Right now we will tell you about the most important things. Turn up the volume and pay attention.
Twin barrels a rumberer. First a wave a strikes her, second wipes a careener. Nothing a reft behind her.
And this haiku is essentially the best description of how the new turret works. First, one shot, then the second, and the target simply disappears.
You could feel this sensation in the special arms race game mode last weekend. Few managed to reach it, so it's our job to tell you its story and introduce everyone to the dual-barreled Tsunami turret. Of course, this name didn't come about by chance. The turret's mechanics mirror the philosophy of a real tsunami. The first shot is the initial wave, and the second is a powerful finishing blow. Starting April 10th, Tsunami will be available in early access for 7,000 tank coins. Along with the turret, you'll immediately receive a set, the Raven Protection Module, the very Raven from the teaser, and the legendary category Excelsior Augment.
Let's quickly break down the turret itself. In terms of range, in the game Tsunami sits exactly between Thunder and Scorpion. It's not a pure long-range weapon, but it's no longer a classic medium-range turret either. You can also think of it as Smokey, but with extra range. Up close, Tsunami loses to Smokey in terms of DPM, but it starts to take over if you don't get right in the enemy's face and instead play from cover.
Pop out, take the first shot, adjust your aim slightly, and finish them off with the second. This is where Tsunami feels most confident, thanks to its mechanics. If the entire magazine hits a single tank, the last shot deals bonus damage. You can easily identify it as the separate white numbers. This bonus damage is added even when a critical hit is dealt, and it's not a percentage. It's a specific number that you upgrade along with the turret. But you must hit the same target with both shells from one magazine. If you deal damage to one target and then another, there will be no bonus damage. If you miss the first shot, there will be no bonus damage. If you land the second shot, wait for the reload, and fire again at the same tank, there will be no bonus damage. We took a long time to arrive at this mechanic. Initially, everything revolved around the idea of an automatic turret, something akin to Twins or Vulcan, but with long range. We even tried variants with mechanics like additional rockets after hits, but it either overloaded the gameplay or just didn't feel like something worthwhile. At some point, it became clear that we didn't need a complicated turret. We needed one that was understandable, but with character. And that's when the current concept was born. 2 barrels, 2 shots. Auto-fire after the first shot. You press once and the turret itself completes the burst. Your task is to keep the target in your sights and adjust your aim for the second shot. The balance of simplicity and depth of gameplay turned out to be perfect. By that time, the name Tsunami had stuck to the turret.
The appearance and animation are worked out to the smallest detail. It has been compared to Twins and Smokey, a flattened Twins, but that's just visual resemblance. Those turrets have already found their niches, close combat and medium range. To avoid competing with them, we increased the caliber and damage of Tsunami while reducing the rate of fire. Now it confidently occupies the position of a long-range weapon. You aim and shoot with the right barrel yourself, the second shot fires automatically. Fun fact, any grenade with this turret is mounted on the left side to allow more precise aiming with the first shot.
We had to work hard on the placement of the barrels. At first, we put them side by side. Then you hardly had to aim at all. We placed them like on Twins, but hitting targets at long range proved very difficult. In the end, we settled on something in between. The barrels are spread apart, so you have to adjust your aim between shots, but it remains comfortable to play. Those who often play as Juggernaut with the Terminator turret will immediately understand how to adjust the second shot after switching to Tsunami.
That's not the only place we got creative. The turret model is designed so that even with the camera fully lowered, the barrels remain visible for convenient aiming.
Look closely at the ejector port. It doesn't just eject shells, it rotates, which looks really cool. The shot effects themselves are made with a particle system instead of old sprites, so the shot feels more voluminous. The fire disperses so that a shot from one muzzle brake doesn't fly into the other. We adjusted even these small details to fit the gameplay. And of course, the sound. We'll even show you how it was put together. It has this dense, juicy click that, honestly, quickly starts to bring pleasure on its own.
So, early access starts tomorrow. After Tsunami appears in your garage, access to augments will also open up. Rare ones like Adrenaline can be purchased for crystals or obtained from containers. 6 epic augments for applying status effects will also be available.
But we'll save the legendary ones for now. We plan to add them soon as prizes for upcoming activities. But you can already see how many augments are prepared for Tsunami. It's definitely the top one in terms of the number of augments in the game. New augments will change the turret's behavior, auto-fire, the number of shots, and even the second shot mode.
These curious mechanics will need to be studied. Of course, during the early access period, we will carefully monitor how the turret fits into the gameplay and, if necessary, balance its characteristics. And by Tanky's birthday, Tsunami will appear in the garage for crystals. From April 10th, the Cosmonautics Day event will take place in the game. The festive Moonwalker paint is available for the entire duration. Maps will also receive themed decoration. Billboards, drop zones and gold boxes will look like satellites. Let's go over the main activities and rewards.
Let's start with missions. They are divided into 3 parts. Each has 10 tasks and 1 super mission. Plus, there are separate tasks for game modes, where each can earn you 3 epic keys. So if you plan to play actively, rewards will accumulate quite quickly. Now for the modes. From April 10th until the morning of April 13th, we activate the UFO mode. Hopper and Ricochet with increased rate of fire. You'll need to get used to the movement physics, because on the Madness Pro map, the air is thin, meaning gravity is clearly not quite right there.
The same metamorphoses await you on April 17th, 18th and 19th in Ace Combat mode. Preset rapid-fire strikers and flying hoppers. Battles take place noticeably above the usual level, literally. Maps Madness Pro, Rio Pro and Highway Pro. Towards the end of the event on the weekend we meet in the Interceptors mode. It's the deathmatch format, also on maps with space variations. In all modes, you need to be extremely attentive and careful. Instead of gold boxes, meteors fall, and damage can even come from below. For such difficult conditions, double funds and experience are awarded. This means you can progress faster through ranks and claim rewards. The Elite Pass is once again available in the game. It will be active throughout the event and its cost is 2,300 rupees. A total of 20 reward levels, starting from the medic grenade and supplies to keys, including a legendary one.
In the epic container, skins and augments for Hopper and Freeze drop more often. We specifically know about 2, Freeze XT-HD and Hopper XT-HD. We'll highlight a few augments. Critical Mix, which gives plus 500% to critical hit chance. Let me repeat, plus 500%. Take it! Stable Mix reduces energy consumption and increases range of damage. You can even start an attack at moderately medium distances. And another one is Excelsior, which increases several turret properties at once, such as damage, rotation speed, and rotation acceleration. For Hopper, we have prepared Driver for accelerated overdrive charging and Excelsior.
Separately about discounts, from April 10th for 3 days we have 30% discounts on items in the shop, equipment in the garage and upgrades. Also, special offers for Cosmonautics Day will gradually appear in the shop. Daily Ruby Pass, Advent Calendar, Alien, Blaster and other profitable sets. It's better to check often, as the showcase will be updated. The event will last until May 1st. Plenty of time to calmly complete the main activities and get everything you need. In the previous episode of the vlog, we had the first Super game of the season. You could earn as many as 3 points in the personal stand-ins from one video blog.
So, in order, by how much does the Smoky's damage differ when activating Viking Overdrive with increased damage versus without increased damage? The video featured MK7 turrets on hulls without upgrades. The correct answer is C, 40%.
Next, how many light tanks with the Blaster augment does it take to blow up a Juggernaut? Wasp and Juggernaut are MK7 with no upgrades. Only 13 tankers could completely deplete the health bar. The answer is also C.
Now the third question. Which of the following cannot push a tank? Most of you leaned toward two answers: Medic Grenade and Ares Overdrive. Those who sent answer D were right, because the Medic Grenade does actually push a tank a little upon activation.
Today, those who answered at least one question from the previous episode are entered into the drawing for 3 days of Premium Pass. The list has been added to our randomizer. All that remains is to determine the winners. Congratulations! And here's the next question.
Which of these overdrives gives battle points for healing tanks? Dictator Supplies Overload, Titan Protective Shield Generator, Paladin Supportive Polarizer, Ares BFG Cannon.
There's no such thing as too much news, but this episode of the vlog has come to an end. Your like will come in handy as always, as will subscribing to us on social media. Good luck on the battlefields. May the chaos be with you. Bye.